We are happy to see you again. You will always be welcomed as friends here.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you too. But we came to ask you something.
Of course. What do you want?
When we participated in the Dunkus meditation, he spoke of a cave of knowledge you had to go to.
And you want to see it? You still wish to learn how we become bound? It is a very sacred place. Only those who will become Donegada may enter there.
That's right, Year One. But they saved my life.
If someone finds out that we have helped the Renaigse to enter a sacred place, they will refuse to bind me.
Dunkus will never do such a thing. What needs to be done will happen, no matter what.
You're probably right.
Look for the entrance in the Vedhadganadu. Entering there will not be easy, but you will have to discover the rest by yourself. Like true apprentices.
Thank you, Morian. And fear not. No one will ever learn what you have entrusted us with. At last, we made it here.
How do we get in?
Look around. There has to be a way.
This stone. There's a slot at the top. Probably to put something in.
The natives' beliefs are based on exchanges. If we want this door to open, I imagine that we will have to make an offering.
Now we have to find out what we should offer.
Spoke the truth. We'll be rich soon. Hey! What are you doing here?
We could ask you the same question.
Except we found this place first. The treasure is ours. So I suggest you disappear. Fast!
I am the legate of the merchant congregation, so you'd better watch your tone. I don't usually make a habit of being threatened by a bunch of thieves.
Since you don't like threats, let's get straight to practice. To arms, guys!
May your fire engulf our enemies!
Here is my offering to the Cave of Knowledge. There. Place the seed on the stone.
Seems like this painting depicts some kind of ritual.
Yes. The character at the center is pouring blood on a stone. And one of these giant creatures that the natives call Nardigs is present.
The location looks like the stone circle where we met the two young natives. The character has changed. He now resembles an Onol Manawi.
You're right. They even depict his bond to the forest. Someone's coming. Let's hide. If anyone finds us here, we're sure to lose the trust of the islanders.
Esco halen, esco valg med agengo selerge mantadabem, avenundanum.
Mach, es boglin daigan ni dau. A yigi dames etier como lei.
Cair to, Morian, ages radai de radi dawem tair gerbegan.
Cau den nes greta como lei. Nas oltargo du, vregtetet mad advat. Abud antadabem me en ekekam. No adaholeg.
The paintings in the cave were magnificent and have taught us so much. It is obvious that they depict the bonding ritual and its consequences. It is by pouring their blood on the raised stones that the natives become metamorphs.
I'm not really sure if I follow you.
And yet it's clear to see. The islanders think that their ritual has magic consequences, but there must be some sort of contamination in their blood as they pour it. The only way to verify this theory is to attend a full ritual. We must attend Yewan's.
How will we know when it takes place?
Dunkus said it would take place after the young people visited the cave, and they will most likely need some preparation. We should go to the Holy Circle of Kurganau tomorrow. What do you say? Will you come with me?
Very well. I hope that Dunkus will not be too angry after seeing us there.
Let's take some time to rest, and then we'll go back to the place where we met them.
You again. Your curiosity is truly unquenchable.
Forgive our intrusion, Dunkus. But I really want to attend Yewan's ritual. I have learned a lot thanks to you, but I still have so much left to understand.
If you were one of ours, Afra, I would be flattered to have such an inquisitive and resolute apprentice. You can attend the ritual, but promise me that you will be discreet. No Renaigse ever had this honor before.
We will do everything in our power to prove ourselves worthy of your trust, Dunkus. How are you? You must be feeling impatient.
Impatient, yes, and a little bit afraid as well.
It's only natural to be afraid, Yerwan. It's a new life starting for you. But I will be by your side, now and forever.
You look preoccupied.
Our people have suffered many lions attacks, often during rituals. In some villages, all the young Sinalmanawi were abducted. You seem different from the others, Zafra. But I can't help worrying.
I have nothing to do with these attacks, Dunkus, I swear.
I believe you. Otherwise, you would not be here with us. But I hope that your brothers will not be there in the shadows, ready to pounce on our children.
Times really must have changed for some Renaigse to attend our rituals.
These are very different from the others. Their leader is an Onol Menawi after all.
I know I look like them, but I'm not one of them.
You may not be bonded, but your parents must have been.
You should be proud and happy about it. It is probably thanks to your bond that Dunkas has accepted your presence.
Arwich neistiri, adesta marar mam.
Meneda, Meneda, You are an Onol Menawi now, Yawan. And soon you will heal the earth by our sides. Like a real Donegard.
Thank you, Donkas. I feel so proud.
I am so happy that we can be Voglendaiga together at last.
What about you, Afra? Did you find the answers you were looking for?
It's strange. I didn't exactly understand what happened, but I am moved.
Some events must be understood with the heart, not the head.
It seems like you are right, Dunkas.
We are under attack.
They won't touch you. Desade, we have to protect them.
You can count on me.
May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Your curiosity, Afra, has saved lives. If it weren't for you, people from my village would have been abducted or killed. I am infinitely grateful, especially considering that fighting against your brothers could not have been easy.
Indeed. These people were brutes. They had it coming. However, you don't know how right you are, Dunkas. I recognize some of these men.
Really? Did they belong to the governor's court?
No. They worked for my former master, Dr. Asili. I was his student for a long time before I realized that this man's methods were questionable. He was so obsessed with his goals that he became cruel. But I can't believe he'd go as far as abducting people for his experiments.
You think that the Onol Menawi are used for experiments?
Now that I have seen these soldiers, I am certain of it. And I'm afraid they may suffer atrocious treatment under the guise of scientific progress. I am so ashamed.
Come now, shame serves no purpose. And you are proof that the lions are not all the same.
Thank you, Dunkas. And thank you, Desade. You opened my eyes. Sade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
How did you feel when we visited the cave?
Astonishment, I think. I felt as if I had reached my goal, as if I was finding a long-lost treasure. It was strangely moving, I think. What about you?
It was a moving moment indeed. And I was happy to be able to share it with you.
I am also happy I have found someone to share these discoveries with. When I'm with you, I feel as if I'm learning differently, feeling new things, and I'm very grateful to you for that. Anything else?
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing Duncas's clan.
That's true. I hope to discover the physical or alchemical mechanism behind their metamorphoses. But instead, I don't know. I think I now understand the bond that unites their people to this land. The links that connects them and the power of their culture. It's unexpected. I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. The study of people, their customs and beliefs. If I said that in Al-Sad, people would think I've gone mad, but here, everything is possible, right? Learning about the natives would allow us to stop being afraid of them, and to see them like fellow humans at last.
When did you arrive on the island?
A little more than 2 years ago. My master, Dr. Vasili, suggested that I should follow him to Tirfredi. He needed help cataloguing all the unknown plants and animals. How could I decline such an offer? There's so much to discover here.
Do you miss the continent, your city, your family, perhaps?
No. When I arrived on this island, I immediately knew that it was where I was supposed to be.
I must leave you.
can protect me in this battle.
Watch out! Grenade!
Our enemies! may the Enlightened protect me in this...
Do not force us to use our...
What's happening here, soldier?
These islanders want to enter a plot of land that belongs to the congregation.
They are denying us access to the glade.
We must heal it. Otherwise, this land will die.
I am sorry, but we cannot let you enter this area.
But we only want to plant some new trees. Bring life back.
These people are fanatics, Your Excellency. Several woodcutters died last night, and I'm willing to bet that these savages had a hand in it.
You are killing the earth, so it kills you in return. All of you are cursed.
Shut it, you savage!
De Sardet, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation on this island. I came to shed light on this affair. You said that some woodcutters died.
Aye, they fell sick and died a few hours later. Well, the camp doctor will be able to tell you more about it. You'll find him in the barracks right here.
Thank you, soldier. I'll go see him.
Please, Your Excellency, you may come in. Do not force us to use our weapons. We do not...
Hello, Doctor. I am the legate of the congregation. I was told about the disputes caused by this camp, and a soldier told me that several woodcutters died recently.
Yes. They got sick yesterday afternoon, and a few hours later they were dead. I couldn't do anything except watch them writhing in pain. None of my remedies worked. If seeing corpses doesn't bother you, you can come and see the bodies. They're here. I hope that whatever killed them is not contagious.
These poor woodcutters look like they've suffered. This one has a swollen tongue, blood at the corner of the mouth. There are some peculiar red patches on the bodies. His eyes are bloodshot. This man choked to death. Strong smell of ammonia. The entrails must have been perforated.
The appearance of these bodies and the smell emanating from their mouths leaves me in no doubt. They were poisoned. That this doctor could have believed that this was simply an illness is beyond me.
I can't see anything else of interest.
So, what do you think? Do you recognize their disease?
They didn't die of disease. They were poisoned. There's no doubt about it.
You're probably right. But I've heard these savages talking so much about curses, so I thought it must be a mysterious disease, rather than seeing what was before my eyes. But how could these three men be poisoned?
Did they drink anything in particular?
They like to drink their fills in the evening. Life is dreary here. But if the poison was in the alcohol, I'd also be on the pile of corpses.
What did they eat yesterday? Did they eat any mushrooms?
No, we avoid that kind of thing. We don't know enough about the region's plant life. The congregation provides us with dry produce, otherwise we eat game. Yesterday they butchered a beast brought by the hunters.
Hunters?
Natives who bring us game regularly in exchange for knickknacks. But they've been restocking us for months. I struggle to believe that they're involved.
Well, we'll see what they have to say. Where can I find them?
They usually hunt on the edge of the wood that leads to this camp.
We do not want to shed blood. We want to get loyal.
Maybe anyone can protect me in this battle.
Atoi! This is our prey, Renaigse. How can we earn our reward if you hunt our prey?
We were looking for you.
Us? What do you want from us?
3 woodcutters were poisoned yesterday after eating what you brought them.
Poison? I swear we are not responsible for this.
Listen, all the clues lead to you, but it may simply have been an accident. How about you tell me exactly what happened?
It wasn't really an accident, but we did not want to kill them either.
Then tell me how it happened.
We did not decide to do this. We were trading beautiful things with the camp. But the elder said that we would be traitors to our clan if we let the woodcutters cut down all the trees.
Which elder?
One of the old men from Vigigidor, our village. He is very angry because we cannot heal the glade. He gave us the meat of an andrig killed by a venomous dosentats. Its flesh is perfectly edible when prepared with certain berries, but without them, eating it would be lethal. And since the Renaigse invaded our forest, these berries are nowhere to be found. He wanted it to be a lesson for them, so that they may understand that their destruction brings death.
I will not hold you responsible, but from now on you will no longer bring meat to this camp. You are the instruments of a hateful old man's vengeance, and I'm under the impression that there will be even more deaths if I do not get to the root of this problem.
This old man is devious. The method he used was very original. But now people have died. The woodcutters will want vengeance, and things will only get worse.
This whole thing could turn into an open war. We cannot let that happen. Sir de Corsillon will be able to give some advice on how to solve this property conflict, without violence. Sir de Corsillon.
Desade, my young student, what can I do for you?
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Good. You have traveled great distances, and the Terra Incognita will soon be but a distant memory. Keep doing what you're doing, de Sade. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I have come to find you because I received a complaint from the natives of the village of Vigigidor. They want to be able to access a clearing, exploited by our woodcutters, to heal it. To reforest it, I assume. But our men there say that it belongs to them, and are refusing to let the natives enter it. The site was supposedly ceded to them several months ago, but tensions are running high and some men have lost their lives. If we don't intervene, we're heading for a real confrontation.
It is very regrettable, and I approve of your desire to appease this conflict. According to what you have told me, if ever there was a contract, it must have been signed under our former governor. You should go to the archives and verify this. Then go and talk to Lady Laurine de Morange. And of course, I'll be delighted to help you once things have been clarified.
Thank you, Professor. Once more, you've been of great help.
Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Did you know that the congregation have already tried to colonize this island in the past?
Oh, yes. I learned about it in some old archives, but the prince made me swear to keep it a secret.
And I suppose that you also knew that it's where I was born?
No, that part I guessed once I arrived here. But I knew that you were not the child of Madame de Sade. I knew her husband, you see, and despite what you may have been told, you do not look like him. The portraits you saw had been modified to make it seem like you did. I'm sorry. I imagine that uncovering such a lie must have hurt you terribly. But you can be certain of one thing. Your mother loved you dearly.
But why? Why hide the truth from me for all this time?
I don't know. The prince has his own reasons, and he's the one you should be asking. As for your mother, I believe she eventually started believing her own lie.
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Corsilio.
day, dear sir. Happy to see you again in such fine health. How can I be of service?
I need you to enlighten me about the property deed of a glade near Vigigidor. The natives want to access this place, which according to them is sacred, and which they would like to heal. But some of our men there are using this deed to deny them access to the area. Tensions are running high, and some people have died.
Yes, there was a time when we enacted a lot of contracts. Do you have the document with you?
Yes, here it is.
This cession agreement is only signed with a cross on the native side. Well, writing is foreign to them, as is the notion of land ownership. For them, the earth only belongs to itself.
If they did not possess these lands, how did they cede them?
I doubt they knew what this agreement represented, to be honest.
In that case, why make them sign it?
When we arrived on the island, we had to ensure our access to certain commodities. We also had to make sure that we had legal ownership of the lands we were occupying. The natives dreamed of possessing some baubles that they didn't know how to craft. It was easy to make them sign agreements that they didn't understand by giving them some. I was a stranger to their philosophy then. I only thought about my city, and I regret it.
I'm sure we can fix this mistake.
I hope so, Your Excellency. Come, let's find Sir de Corsilion. Can I help you with any other matter?
My lady, I have to go. Goodbye.
Sir de Corsilion, it's always a pleasure.
Madame, I expect you've come to see me about this regrettable problem concerning a clearing, which my student told me about.
Indeed, and I think I may have a solution that will allow us to solve this conflict peacefully.
I'm listening.
I must admit that I established this at a time when the culture and the mentality of the natives was foreign to me. The clan of this village was rather open to our presence. They welcomed us with benevolence. For this reason, I think we should allow them access to these lands. In doing so, we would appease the tensions, and we would also retain ownership of the wood. We would even benefit from such an agreement if the natives reforest this area. Then we could exploit it for a longer period of time.
I find this decision perfectly viable, and I approve, but several men were killed, and their comrades will seek vengeance if the person or persons responsible do not pay for their crimes.
I am convinced that Dunkus, the chief of this clan, never approved such an action.
I understand, but I will only write a decree allowing people to go to this clearing, provided the murderer is delivered to us.
Thank you, Master. I will inform Dunkus of your decision.
What brings you here, Ono Manawi?
At this old man's request, I investigated the conflict that opposes you and my nation regarding the clearing. You will now be able to access it freely, to accomplish your rituals or heal the area, and the congregation will keep exploiting the forest. However, there is one condition to this new agreement. You must deliver this man to us because he is responsible for the deaths of several woodcutters.
These men died because of their own foolishness. No one else is responsible for their deaths. If they hadn't cut all the ochre-berry trees, they would have survived.
What does that mean? What are the two of you talking about?
3 woodcutters died after eating the meat of an andrig after it was killed by a venomous Dawson-tats.
It's nothing but a terrible coincidence. And if they had eaten the ochre berries...
We know that you are responsible for this. The hunters told me everything.
How could you do this? You acted more foolishly than an irascible adolescent. By killing these men, you have brought upon us their wrath. And it is only natural that they should ask for justice.
Duncas, I beg you. I only wanted the Renoigse to understand the value of the trees they were cutting.
Bloodshed only leads to more bloodshed, and you know that. I would never have thought you capable of doing something so foolish.
If you want to stop the woodcutters taking vengeance into their own hands, you must deliver this man to us.
I understand. But I have one condition before we make this agreement. The Lugaid Blau fooled us in the past. It is their turn to prove their good faith.
What do you want from us?
There is a mine in the forest that the congregation has long operated with help from my people. But digging into the mountain has risked it collapsing. We reinforced the earth with wood. We worked with the Lugaid Blau to save the mountain and the men. We agreed to stop digging and sealed the entrance with a boulder. But some Renaigse came back, and I think they started digging again. And some of my people started going missing. Perhaps because they had seen them break their promise. If the mountain collapses and it is your clan's fault, thousands of lives will be lost.
And you want me to intervene?
You have to stop them. Remind them of their promise. This is the price of my trust. If you do, we punish the person responsible for the death of the woodcutters, and all our quarrels will be gone.
I'll go to this mine and see what's going on.
Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Duncas.
Qua awalum seg.